This is the future.
So I would like to share my top Warframes for this year, but squad leader Dagath is still coming, and I think it's too early to do a video about the best Warframes this year. Well, based from what I saw in Dagath, I think the Warframe will be good. Just as fun as Kullervo with all the damage buffs and defense strip. I think many will like her, but I'm not including the Warframe in this list somehow. Most of the Warframes included in this list are the best when it comes to farming, progression, and just making your life easy in the game. These are the Warframes that I both enjoy and find very helpful in my grind journey this year, and I want you to make this video as a reference on the best Warframes to do a specific job effectively in the game. Let's begin with Vauban Prime. This Warframe with a Spectro-Siphon build is amazing when it comes to leveling weapons in the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught. I always use this Warframe to level up any guns in 2 conduit runs. 1 conduit if the first one will be facing Grineer units. This Warframe is special since you all know, to level up weapons in the Elite Sanctuary Onslaught you will need to either kill enemies or get experience from the kills of other. A long-range Vauban with Garaz's Spectro-Siphon will group enemies with his Vortex. Then will give those nuker allies such as Volt, Garuda, Thermal Sunderframes, or even Sarin the energy to cast their abilities, nuke enemies and gain experience for my weapons fast. Of course, nuking Warframe who are doing Elite Sanctuary runs are farming focus points. The usual players I get from these runs are those players that also are leveling their weapons, so the Vortex is great in grouping targets in one place so we can kill them faster with our weapons. Next we have Chroma Prime. I got 2 words for this Warframe, Vex Armor. Despite the past nerf to Chroma, this Warframe stays to be very useful in taking down bosses such as Eidolons and Orb Mother in the Valis. In fact, Chroma right now is still the best farming Warframe for me if you can afford all the things needed for the Prophet Taker fight. You can earn millions of credits in 8 minutes or less with Chroma, given that you drop his 4th ability before the Prophet Taker will drop its loot. In addition to this, Chroma is still very powerful when it comes to weapon combos, and I still enjoy the Warframe, sometimes in doing endurance runs in Steel Path and beyond levels. His survivability may not be impressive as the shield gating mechanic, but it's so satisfying to see a couple of enemies hitting Chroma and doing less damage. Also, I got to include Limbo Prime in this list as the king of defense in my opinion. I usually use this Warframe in Zariman and Archon Hunt defense missions. Limbo's Cataclysm will time-stop all the trash mobs that are rushing the defense objective, and you can subsume Wisp Breach Surge ability to make the Warframe the ultimate defensive Warframe in the game. Well, unless a nullifier runs into its bubble though, but aside from that, Limbo can crowd control trash mobs, and then when you have Breach Surge, then you can also crowd control Sentience, Acolytes and even Eximus units that they will not take action at all when Breach Surge is still active. You can also do a Muzzle Flash Limbo build, as it's still viable since all you need to, the defensive Limbo is maxed out the duration and get high range. Mesa's Shooting Gallery with the Augment can also crowd control special units, but right now I think Breach Surge Limbo is better because it also gives damage to enemies. Not to mention that you have full control on Breach Surge, where to cast it if needed, and there is no requirement that you have to kill a specific amount of enemy before it blinds the other enemies surrounding the target. Breach Surge Limbo is legendary in my opinion, but this is not the only synergy you can give this Warframe. You can also have fun with a Surging Blades Limbo since you can damage enemies with Aqua Blades while you are in the Rift. This was a broken synergy in the past, but it got nerfed somehow with Eximus units being able to hit Limbo in the Rift. Next, we have Ivara Prime, my queen of conservation and spy missions. Now I know that Wukong or other stealth Warframes are great when it comes to spy missions, but Ivara lets you cheese any spy missions with the Infiltrate augment that let her pass through lasers without detection. It's slower compared to Wukong's Cloudwalker, which is bypass lasers by the way, but Iva is a foolproof Warframe when it comes to spy missions. Also, her Sleep Arrow is very useful in hunting down animals in the open world areas. With the upcoming companion rework, I think you will find this Warframe very handy in the conservation missions for farming those new companion mods. Of course, there will be no Warframe tier list without Mesa in it. Mesa Prime is still the best Warframe for me when it comes to missions that requires you to kill enemies while defending a target solo. She is very good in bounty missions for farming standings. She is also helpful in exterminate and mobile defense Zarimon missions for farming standings also, which you can use to buy arcanes and sell them for platinum, or to buy incarnate weapons that you don't own yet. She is also very powerful in Duviri circuit that every time you have Mesa, expect that you will go for a couple of Duviri circuits before exiting the mission. Best part is, she got a special combo also with her ballistic bullseye that makes the Cedo give insane red crit damage. If you are tired with the usual Peacemaker build, then you can chill and kill Steel Path enemies with red crit Cedo while using Mesa Prime. I'm also using Mesa in hunting down Kuvalish and Sisters of Parvos. Not in the final encounter, but the missions while farming Murmur. Usually, I use this Warframe in farming Murmurs solo, in Exterminate, Capture, or any missions that Mesa is capable. And then the final battle will be taken care of by my Banshee Prime. Although many would say that Banshee right now is just a food for the Helminth since you can subsume her silence ability to other Warframes and help them level up solo fast, I still use this Warframe in Kuva and Sister Hunts because her sonar is very potent against these enemies that you can. Literally one-shot them with a Stropher build or any hard-hitting burst weapon. Banshee's sonar is the only ability that works perfect against Sisters of Parvos, and Kuvalish and I won't replace this Warframe just yet when it comes to hunting down these enemies. Also, I have Volt Prime on this list, which I think will become more popular for the new players in the upcoming Shield rework. Now, I know Mag can still provide tons of shield values without the need of an augment mode, but Volt is built different, since he is not only a one-dimensional Warframe, but a Warframe that can fulfill multiple tasks in the game. He will be a great starter Warframe for new players. Then he is also a good relic farmer because of his speed. He is also a good secondary nuker and crowd control in defense missions. And the best part is, the only Warframe that can boost the damage of your operator amps without any crazy setup at all. This allows you to one-shot the limb of the Eidolons and make the whole run super fast. Volt is known as one of the best, if not the best, Eidolon hunter in the game, and he will be more than that after the Abyss of Dagath update. Then I also included in the list Revenant Prime because of his Mesmer skin. This is the best tank in the game right now, and with his Mesmer skin, you can do Archon hunts easily. With a good weapon, you can easily solo the final battle against Archons because of his insane survivability. And now you can also give Mesmer skin charges to your allies, making them immortal, also with the Mesmer Shield augment. However, not all are happy with Mesmer Shield since you can't gain energy with mods like Rage when this skill is active, so eventually don't use it when you see Chroma or any tank Warframes. But then again, it's the best survivability in endgame levels. Moving on, I also included Exaku in this list. Now I forgot to mention that Limbo is also good when it comes to breaking crates and farming resources in the open world areas. Well, I forgot about it since Exaku can do the same. This Warframe is also a good alternative in bounty missions, such as the Zariman missions in the game. His ability to fully strip defenses coupled with AFK gameplay with Grasp of Lock are the main reasons why I love this Warframe. You can also run and gun with this Warframe, completing exterminate objectives like it was nothing. Overall, once you have stolen the max number of weapons, all you need to do is go near enemies, and they will die with Exaku. Then I also have Necros Prime for farming isolation vaults for those Necromesh parts and other special resources that double the drop when Desecrate is active. But in terms of resource farming in Steel Path Star Chart, I usually go with Cora Prime, as all I need to do is go in Dark Sector's Survival in Steel Path levels, then drop her Pilfering Strangle Dome and kill enemies with her Whip Claw. You can also use Necros to farm these Star Chart resources, but it so happens that Cora will just press one button to kill and farm resources. However, Necros has a special synergy with the Amalgam Ripka Steel mod that deals 100% gore. This gore also means dismemberment, that each time you kill enemies with any damage over time effect such as Toxin, Heat and Slash, it will dismember a corpse and cause double loot to drop. This pairs well right now with the most satisfying weapon in the game called Incanon Torrid, and you can just beam targets with Necros and get double loot drop. Basically, Cora is a more passive farmer, while Necros is more active, so you just choose who you want to play with. Then we have Wisp Prime, which doesn't have big-ass set, but also very handy in team compositions such as Radshare in Steel Path, Void Fisher missions. The buff from Reservoir that this Warframe provide allows your team to just sit in one corner in a Steel Path Fisher mission with Shedu in hand and shred enemies for an hour to crack open relics, farm prime parts, resources, and also steal essence. Most players you will see here a Necros Prime, and all these players are Chinese. I mean, have Smita Kavach in hand, praying that the resource buff will proc to double the Steel Essence game. Wisp Prime was a god sent for those Prime parts farmer because of her buff, but the Warframe also has awesome synergy and good damage if you wanted to play solo. She got also insane survivability while in the air because she becomes invisible to enemies. She also got Breach Surge and Big Booty. No wonder why Wisp was meta during the Warframe 2022 stats survey. And lastly, my most used Warframe this year, Titania Prime. Thermal Sunder Titania, to be exact, is the best Warframe when it comes to both farming relics and cracking them open in Void Fisher Exterminate or Capture mission. The Warframe got mobility, and when you subsume Thermal Sunder, you then get a pixie that can nuke enemies in any location. In addition to this, she also go decent damage with her Dex Pixia and insane crowd control with her Lantern. You can say that Titania is a complete package Warframe, and this is why I'm addicted in using her in most of my Prime parts farming runs, relic farming, or even Zariman runs to farm standings and convert it to Platinum. Overall, Titania Prime is a must-have Warframe for all players right now. So, these are my go-to Warframes for this year. All these Warframe help me farm all the stuff in the game easily, and they are powerful enough to be in Steel Path levels also. Take note that this is my tier list, and these Warframes have helped me a lot, that they deserve to be recognized by the community. I know that you have your own tier list, so please do share it in the comments section below. I hope that you have learned something from this video, especially all the builds I have showed you for all the Warframes I have mentioned. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you find the video informative. Thank you so much for watching. Squad Leader signing off.